Midoriya lives in a world where basically everyone has superpowers except him. Luckily, he gets the best superpower ever when he eats this guy's hair. This guy got the superpower when he ate someone else's hair, and so on. When Midoriya is in peril, the strength of all those hair munchers comes rushing back to him. Meanwhile, Aang lives in a world where basically everyone has superpowers, and he's got the best one. All of them. Aang has all these superpowers because he's the latest in a long line of particularly magical martial artists. When Aang is in peril, he can rely on these forebearers to bail him out. This idea comes up constantly in fiction. Hardly a tale as old as time goes by without a reincarnated hero or villain or both. That means the same story can be told and enjoyed again and again because it's the nature of the story to cycle. This guy is called Link, and there's no wonder why. He begins each game ready to take up the mantle, and he ends each game ready to pass it on. Aang and Midoriya just have their links to the past on call ready to assist. And so does Link? Sure, the individual links don't interact with each other much, but you are Link. When you play a Zelda game, your experience with other Zelda games gives this version of Link a leg up, as if he's hearing advice from bygone ages. Or, if this is your first Zelda game, maybe you've got a friend on the couch giving you advice, and Link's experience of previous lives comes from them. Or maybe you're looking at a walkthrough written by some other ancient Link. The interactivity of gameplay means we, as players, inevitably use information which the fictional characters within the game shouldn't have. Speedrunners take this to the obvious conclusion. These people know and love a game so much that when they play, their avatar seems unstoppable. They can exploit every edge. They can bypass any obstacle. They can intuit the unforeseeable. They're like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, a master of his domain because he's been there thousands of times before. And they have been there thousands of times before. Speedrunners play these games non-stop. Cosmo's version of Link has countless lives to draw from, and every failure or success becomes another life to draw from. Aang gets his chance to be a past life. In the sequel series to The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, forever loses the Avatar's connection to past lives? Bummer. But zooming out, The Legend of Korra could be called the reincarnation of The Last Airbender, presumably undergoing some sort of karmic retribution for the Shyamalan movie. The Last Airbender is likewise the reincarnation of its inspirations. People argue whether it should be called an anime or not, but I think it's most accurate to say it was an anime in a previous life. My Hero Academia wears its inspirations on its sleeve. People won't stop comparing it to older shonen battle anime until it becomes one of those older shonen battle anime used as a benchmark for the latest incarnation. We'll ask, did Robot Ninja University improve on Heroica? Just like we ask, did Heroica improve on Naruto? Just like we asked, did Naruto improve on Dragon Ball? Tracking inspirations reveals an incestuous cycle of reincarnation with no real beginning and no end in sight. With these videos, I'm trying to convince you that there's no boundary between the things we call fiction and the things we call reality. Link doesn't exist, but Link's games do. Link's past lives, in us, are exactly as real as they're supposed to be. Real in the sense that they affect our actions here and now. That's the only way anything can be real. In the same way, humans bicker over historical events. Maybe something happened, maybe it didn't. But either way, it's real enough to talk about, or we wouldn't be talking about it. Lies can be more influential than the truth, and left unchecked, that can mean there's effectively no difference. Reality, as we know it, is just replacing lies with more convenient lies, and calling the most convenient lie so far the truth. Let's loop back to Link. Nintendo has published the official Zelda timeline, so 1 point for Zelda is real. But lots of people disagree with that timeline, even calling it internally inconsistent. 1 point for Zelda can't be real. But wait, if it's not real, how could it possibly be inconsistent? Things which don't exist don't contradict anything, least of all themselves. All of Zelda is a lie. It's only real while you believe it and to the extent you believe it, just like everything else. Look, are the CDI Zelda games canon? Since they were made by Philips, not Nintendo, they're easily dismissed as illegitimate. But they are officially licensed, and if that's not legitimacy, then what is?
So I've heard about these are canon, right?
No.
No, okay, great.
God, no.
But like they were like authorized, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
There was like a
that's
short
what I
period of
meant.
time.
But Nintendo would rather forget these games exist, and frankly, who can blame them? So these games exist in sort of a parallel universe, where they aren't allowed to affect the canon. Even though canon is a shaky, wibbly-wobbly fictional thing which we acknowledge we made up, canon has a semi-permeable membrane separating the real fiction from the fake fiction. Lots of video games are based on Zelda, and even though they don't fit into Nintendo's canon, they could be called reincarnations. Miyamoto says the original Zelda was based on his own childhood experiences exploring nature. Zelda is a reincarnated childhood, which became other people's childhoods, which themselves were reincarnated. Tracking which things inspired which other things shows how all these entities are part of a web. The past is the bedrock for the future, and the future becomes the past for the future after that. So if you're not a fan of Korra, or if you think Hiroaka doesn't capture the spirit of its predecessors, don't worry. That discontentment is the future's foothold. Whatever animated shows come next, they'll exist in a world with Aang and Midoriya, and hopefully they'll have learned a thing or two. Not just for the sake of audiences, but for the next shows down the line. Everything that happens is affected by everything that has happened, and in turn affects everything which will happen. Or maybe I'm thinking about it too much? That's all I do here at Thinkster. I think the seed for this video was sown when I saw Promare, the latest movie from the same people who made Gurren Lagann. Which is probably why Promare seems a lot like Gurren Lagann, but on fire. Audiences even refer to characters in Promare by the names of the corresponding characters they're replacing from Gurren Lagann. Gainax has made a lot of anime, but ultimately Gainax has just made one anime over and over, even when Gainax isn't called Gainax anymore. I try to make a video every 2 weeks or so, and I think I keep getting better at it. The squid that made this video is the latest incarnation of the squid that made the last one. The next video probably won't come out for a month or so because I'm running a marathon in Japan, so I'll see you in another life. Bye-bye.